Anne, Princess Royal and Princess of Orange. She was born on the 2nd of November 1709 at Herrenhausen Palace in Hanover. She died on the 12th of January 1759, aged 49, at The Hague, the capital of the province of South Holland. Her husband was William IV, Prince of Orange. She had 3 children, Anne, Caroline and William. She was of the House of Hanover. Her father was George II of Great Britain. Her mother was Caroline of Ansbach. Anne was born at Herrenhausen Palace, Hanover, on the 2nd of November 1709, 5 years before her paternal grandfather, Elector George Louis, succeeded to the thrones of Great Britain and Ireland as George I. She was christened shortly after her birth at Herrenhausen Palace. She was named after her paternal grandfather's second cousin, Anne, Queen of Great Britain. She learned German, French and English and was taught music, including singing, harpsichord and composition by George Frederick Handel. Handel did not like teaching, but said he would make the only exception for Anne, flower of princesses. She remained a lifelong supporter, attending his operas and subscribing to his music. Anne contracted and survived smallpox in 1720. 2 years later, her mother helped to popularise the practice of variolation, an early type of immunisation against smallpox. Anne's face was scarred by the disease, and she was not considered as pretty as her 2 younger sisters, Amelia and Caroline. On the 30th of August 1727, George II created his eldest daughter, Princess Royal, a title which had fallen from use since its creation by Charles I for his daughter Mary in 1642. In 1725, a potential marriage contract between Anne and Louis XV of France was considered. From a French viewpoint, such a marriage could give France valuable neutrality from the Netherlands and Prussia, as well as protection against Spain. However, the religious issues caused problems. The plans were eventually discarded when the French insisted that Anne must convert to Roman Catholicism. On the 25th of March 1734, in the Chapel Royal at St James's Palace, she married William IV, Prince of Orange. She then ceased to use her British title in favour of the new one she gained by marriage. The music played at her wedding, "This Is the Day," was set by Handel to the princess's own words. Handel also composed an operatic entertainment in honour of her wedding, which was performed for the first time at the King's Theatre, London, on the 13th of March 1734, with great success. William suffered from a spinal deformity which affected his appearance, but Anne said she would marry him even if he were a baboon. Her reason for being so insistent upon this marriage was reported to be simply that she wished to be married to avoid a life as a spinster at the court of her father and her brother, with whom she did not get along, and as the only match considered suitable for her was with a monarch or heir to a throne, William was essentially her only remaining Protestant choice. And when questioned by her father, she stated that it was not a matter of whether she should marry William, the question was rather whether she should marry at all. She quarrelled with her brother, the Prince of Wales, about her choice. William and Anne sailed to Holland after a honeymoon at Kew in the Netherlands. Anne soon felt homesick when William went on campaign in the Rhineland, and she travelled back to England believing herself to be pregnant, with the motivation that as her child would be in succession to the throne of Britain and Ireland, it should be born in Great Britain. However, this decision caused conflict with her husband and her father, who both commanded her to return to Holland after a brief stay in England. By April 1735, it was clear that Anne was not with child after all. In 1736, she did become pregnant, but the child, a daughter, was stillborn. Anne was not well liked by the people of the Netherlands, and she did not get on well with her mother-in-law. She was perceived as haughty, with a belief in the British superiority over the Dutch. She appeared to isolate herself with her interests in music and literature, and she was accused of displaying little consideration for her courtiers. For example, by forcing her ladies-in-waiting to read to her for hours on end, ignoring their fatigue. Her relationship with William, however, which was at first distant, eventually developed into harmony and intimacy. William IV died on the 22nd of October 1751 at the age of 40, and Anne was appointed as regent for her 3-year-old son, William V. She gained all the prerogatives normally held by a hereditary standholder of the Netherlands, with exception of the military duties. She was hard-working but arrogant and imperious, which made her unpopular. The 1750s were years of increasing tension and commercial rivalry between Holland and Great Britain, which placed her in a very difficult position. Anne's interior policy focused on defending the authority of the central, hereditary standholder government over the traditional rights of the Dutch states. The reform had been introduced during the reign of her late husband. It was new and controversial and was questioned after his death, but Anne effectively defended the centralised government. In the conflict with the city of Haarlem, for example, she prevented the city from holding its election by refusing the release of its list of candidates. Her harsh rule was resented, but her consolidation policy effectively secured the new hereditary standholder rule in the Netherlands. In her foreign policy, Anne favoured the British alliance with the Emperor before the French, a policy which was not popular in the Netherlands, and her fortification of the southern provinces against the French Netherlands was met with great opposition. Anne took drawing and painting lessons from Herman van der Min and made a self-portrait in 1740 that is in the collection of the House of Orange-Nassau Historic Collections Trust. Anne continued to act as regent until her death from dropsy in 1759, when she was replaced by her mother-in-law, Marie-Louise of Hesse-Kassel, who was assisted by Duke Louis Ernest of Brunswick-Lüneburg. When she too died in 1765, Anne's daughter Caroline was made regent until William V would reach the age of 18 in 1766. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, click the like button and please subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much.